play the game with no timeouts. You ride my wave, you're getting wiped out. Big mistakes get wiped out. I spot you like a lighthouse. Watch your moves like a night owl. On a full moon, wolves gon' howl. Can't bounce back, no rebounds. I show up like me how.
Yo, yo, yo. Welcome back. What up, Player One? Welcome back to another episode of the Tip Off. I am your host, Iceman the Eskimo. What up? What up? Wrestling going crazy. I see you in the chat, bro. You know what I mean? I'm going to talk about some things today. I usually don't go live, but I'm going to try to go live. You know what I mean? Like my boy, big fan Breezy. You know what I mean? Try to go live. Everyone's talking about live. I'm trying to get live with it. You heard? Yo, I got a few topics to talk about. I talked about, if you follow me on, if you follow me on TikTok, you might have heard me talk about something today. But I got more topics though, because the more I think about stuff, the more interesting I make things, you know what I mean? Things I'm gonna get. So first, right, I'm gonna talk about the Nets. 10 games left. What are we doing? They just called up Dariq Whitehead. Will he get any playing time? And I just seen on Twitter, there is one roster spot open that the Nets haven't filled. And fans still want to know if Drew Timme is going to get a called up. Yo, what's good? You know what I mean? You want to pull up Scott? I'll send a link for you, brother. You know what I mean? Let me put the link in the chat for you. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? They still got one roster spot open. Fans want to know if Drew Timme's going to get called up. I'm gonna say this: Drew Timme might help us too much. I don't know how good he really is, but in the G League, the dude is like unguardable. You know what I mean? He's like unguardable in the G League. I know it's the G League. I know they don't have the same quality of players, but still, you know what I mean? When you drop in double doubles and triple doubles a lot in the G League, that means you're like, you know what I mean? You're not borderline NBA player. Like, you could play in the league. It just depends on, you know what I'm saying, circumstances and stuff like that. So, dude possibly could be, you know what I mean? He could probably help us out because we don't have anybody on a team like him. He plays center in the G League. I'm not sure if he could play center for us, but he could rebound, he could score, he could shoot the three, he could pass, he could do everything. But back to Dariq though, you know what I'm saying? Before I forget, Dariq getting called up. He's been playing well, shooting the three. Last game he had 4 for 4. Y'all heard me talk about it from the three, and he was 6 for 7 from the field or something like that. So he's been hooping, you know what I mean? And he's getting called up. So I wonder if he's getting time to play. If he's gonna get time to play, they are some folks sitting down next game. And you know what I mean? I'm trying to see something. Fans want to see Dariq. Last 10 games, they don't want to see Cam Johnson. They don't want to see D'Lo, even though we ain't got no other point guard. They talking about Reese Beekman, who dropped 22 last game, by the way. They talking about Reese Beekman, but I don't think he's getting called up. We're gonna stay with Tyrese Martin and point guard because I really believe the team is trying to lose. If Tyrese running point, we trying to lose because he's not gonna give you no assist like that. You know what I mean? He a spot up shooter. He could create for himself. Y'all know about Tyrese Martin. You know what I mean? I've been talking about my guy, whether he plays good or bad. That's my guy. Whether we, you know what I'm saying? Once he's off the team, he's off the team. But while he's on the team, he's my guy. You heard? But that's what I was saying. So Drew Timme is interesting. Fans want to know about him, and they want to see Dariq back. And I said, hopefully, by this summer, Dariq Whitehead is back to his regular self. He get his legs back from that injury, the second injury. And once he get back to himself, that could put a little bit of question mark on who they draft. Because if he's back to his regular self, that Duke Derek, that's a whole different player. You know what I mean? So you might not have to draft one of those wings. You could try to draft something else. Go for another power forward. Go for another big. You know what I mean? You can shake things up a little bit. It all depends. You know what I mean? Like I said, it's not the next best player on the board. Is the next player you think is best for your team. You know what I mean? Sometimes the board could be lined up right, but still, you know what I mean? You don't want to get redundant players and be like, oh, well, I got a redundant player. You know what I mean? I got Cam Johnson and Will Riley like the same. You know what I mean? You don't want to do things like that. Even though Will might, and unless you move off Cam Johnson, you pick up Will, that makes a difference. You know what? Y'all know what I'm saying. No redundant players. We want new players, different style players for the Nets. You heard? You know what I mean? And I got questions. You know what I mean? Like I was saying, Killian Hayes been hooping, right? And I have my little drafting up. I might put it up later. But one of my drafts on Twitter right now, folks are commenting like, you ain't grab no point guard. I'm like, nah, not in this situation. I got other mock drafts where I draft point guards, but it was ace, and I had wings and a center, no point guard. And I started thinking, like, you know, when I drafted it, I'm like, yo, could we find if I draft all the nice players and many nice players as I think is nice, could I find a point guard somewhere else like Killian Hayes? Can Killian Hayes be a point guard until next draft or whatever? You know what I mean? Like, the Nets like to find these little point guards other places. So if I just draft all the wings and a center, power forward, you know what I mean? For right now, would that make a difference? You know what I'm saying? In how we draft. You know what I mean? So that was my question. You know what I mean? What up, Scott?
Hey, what's up, Ice Man?
Ain't nothing selling. Stirring up the pot a little bit.
You know? I see that. You were talking about the G League, and that's something I don't follow too much on, but I know there's talent there. I know there is.
Yeah. So Killian down there, Drew Timme, a guy I've been talking about, he dropped 50 points, 9 rebounds the last game he had. He's been double machine. Yeah,
I never heard of him.
Yeah, man, he played for Gonzaga. I think he's like 6'10". He's gonna be 6'9", 6'10". Plays
What
center in the
position
G
he play?
League. He plays center in the G
Center?
League. Yeah, he came on this half of the season of the G League. Right. I think they traded for him or something like that. And he's been putting up numbers. He's been like unstoppable. You know what I mean? So fans been wanting to see him. Yeah, fans been wanting to see him. And we got one roster spot open, so they kept saying, like, is he going to get called up? We want to see what he can do. But I think this team is really trying to lose now. That's what I said. I don't know if y'all really want to see Timme. He might, you know what I mean? He might be for real good, or he might not be.
He might be an answer,
you know
other words.
Right.
That's the thing about it. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was thinking that they was going to give him a chance in the summertime in the summer league. Since they had him down there, they could have called him up anytime, you know what I mean, or give him a contract since they had one roster spot open. But they ain't call him up, so I'm thinking like they might wait till summer and let him ball out, and then, you know what I mean?
Yeah. See, that's the thing. A lot of fans want to see rebuild, and if these young players play well, you're gonna be winning games.
Right.
See that?
Right.
That's the thing.
He might help you. Yeah, he putting up numbers. He might help you win games. You know what I mean? 20 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, 5 assists. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
even if he
on one of those nights
even if he hit half his numbers, that probably would help us put us over the top.
Right. So I'm like, your fans might not want to see that. You know what I mean? They want to see it, but they don't want to see it because they be like, oh, man, who is this guy helping us win? Like, why is he even up here now? Like, you know what I'm saying?
And then now you want to know why you can't develop nobody. How you going to develop somebody in a season that you know you trying to rebuild?
Right. You know what I mean?
I haven't figured that out yet.
I don't either. I don't either. Yeah,
I
I don't
don't
know.
understand that.
That's a weird thing, but it is what
Just
it
like
is. Fans want to see what they want to see.
yeah, just like the thing with Nick Claxton. I mean, we know he has deficiencies.
Yeah,
We've seen it before when he came in the league. We've seen
right,
that he's not a great shooter, especially in the flow of the game. But I mean, if the guy plays to his potential, we be winning some more games.
right, right. You have the right pieces around Nick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, then he'll do his thing. I don't know. I like I
Right.
was listening to your earlier thing when you was talking about this dude though down in the G League, and I was wondering who he is, Timme. I was like, who's this guy he's talking about? But I didn't, I don't follow the G League like I should, And even
Right.
I'm one person who has always told people, even in the first round, there's people later in the rounds that probably a superstar, man. They have the
Right.
mentality to play in the NBA.
Right.
They got the background. They just don't shine because they playing college ball. It's different. College ball is different than the NBA.
Right. Very,
You know?
very different. Spacing is different. Style
Yeah,
of play is different.
yeah.
Your big man really don't. A lot of big men don't get a chance to spread the floor like that. They play in the post, back
Right.
down. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah, they
So
don't they
sometimes,
don't they don't run that kind of offense like you see in the NBA.
yeah. So yeah, player one, he down there hooping.
Yeah.
He's still trying to enjoy the games. I feel you on that. Yeah, but he down there hooping. Fans been talking about him for like the last month. I think they said in the last month he's been averaging 30 points, 9 rebounds, and like 4 assists for the last month. Drew Timme. So that's why fans is curious about him. He's been on Twitter a lot, man. His name been on Twitter on fire. You know what I mean? So that Drew Timme, player one, he got to go on Twitter and you know what I'm saying, tell the Nets to bring him up so you can see something real quick. You know what I mean? But,
What's his full name?
So,
Drew?
Yeah, Drew Timme.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, he played for Gonzaga. Yeah. Okay. 24 years old. 6'10".
Yep. Oh yeah, he's 6'10". Yeah. So he hooping. He's been hooping.
All right.
I mean, so yeah, the next. So yeah, back to what I was talking about. So on that mock draft I did, that's on Twitter right now. They got everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, could we find if you drafted all wings in the center, could you find a point guard somewhere else without drafting one? Now there are point guards in the draft. I just did one mock draft without one, and they like, yo, you ain't even draft a point guard. But I'm like, bro, you know what I mean? They like it's a nice draft. They like it, but you ain't grab no point guard. You know what I mean?
Right.
That was my question because I do believe summertime Killian Hayes is going to get a chance on our summer league team.
He deserves a shot.
Drew Timme, and Killian Hayes, summer league. I believe that's what I believe. I don't know. I'm saying that right now. That's what I believe.
I can go with that.
Happen.
I can go with that because he showed me during the season in a couple of games that he played really well. Killian Hayes.
Yeah, the last game, Drew Timme dropped 15. I think he had 19, 6 and 5.
Right.
6 assists, 5 rebounds. You know what I mean? Like he's been solid. Killian been solid.
Yeah, he's been solid.
I think they're gonna give him a chance. They said they didn't want to bring him back up because they didn't want to give him another 10 days because it was
that's a money move. That's just a money move. That was a money move. And they knew they were tanking. They knew they were. I hate to use that word, tank.
Right.
But you know what I'm saying.
Right.
They knew what they wanted to do.
Competitively.
Like I said, you bring those people out to think that they not going to come out there and try. I know even if I come out of the G League, if I was in the G League and I get an opportunity to play, I'm bringing my A game.
Oh yeah, you hooping.
I'm
Yeah, you
bringing
hooping.
my A
That 40,
game.
like Breezy be saying, that 40,000 is different when you hit 2 mil. You know what I mean? You know,
Yeah,
you can get your
yeah.
first contract at 2 million. Yeah,
What?
I'm hooping.
Yeah, I'm hooping. I'm telling you, I'm blood coming out of somebody. I'm telling you, that's the God's honest truth.
Oh man, yeah. So the next topic, right? I know we tanking. Like Scott said, we competitive. We being competitive, but we losing, trying to get that fifth seed
Highest
spot
pick.
on
Yep.
the draft.
The highest pick we can
Yeah,
get.
trying to get trying to get that. So, like I said, Tyrese Martin running point guard right now.
Hey,
Tyrese, he ain't gonna do too much at point guard. He a spot up shooter, shooting guard.
he really,
Y'all already
that's not
know.
really his position, really, to be honest.
Nah, man. Yeah, it's not. You know what I mean? So with that being said, we're gonna lose. Like I said, Derek going they calling Derek up. I'm just going over. Y'all miss anything. Derek getting called up. He may get playing time. There's another player on the two-way that they haven't brought up. Tyson Etienne. He's a short guard.
Right.
Not really a point guard. He's more of a scoring guard. He's 6'2", really
Right.
small. Built like a tank though. 3-point shooter, and they gave it to him, but they haven't called him up. And I was wondering myself if anybody knows why they haven't called him up yet. You know what I mean? But I guess because we are being competitive right now, they don't want to call up too many people from the G
Right.
League. You know what I mean?
Right.
So my next,
another thing was would you pick up Fears in your first pick if we fall back beyond, to 5 or 6? Would you?
Yeah.
Would
yes,
you?
Scott. Yeah. Yeah. That's what I was talking
I've been
about
watching his game. I've been watching his game.
Fears is nice, unstoppable.
He can get to any spot on the floor.
Right. With ease. You know what I mean?
With ease.
2-3 dribbles.
And he's there. He kind of I'm not saying he's Kyrie Irving, but what I'm saying is he reminds me of his flow.
Right.
Which is he can get anywhere on the floor.
At any time.
That's not easy to do. A lot of people can't do that.
Right. And I've been watching it. I've been listening to the commentators say, like, he cannot be stopped. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't do nothing with this kid. Like, he's too fast. He got good handles. He get into the paint all the time. They said that last game he had like 20 points, but he had a little bit of assists. Like, if his teammates would have hit the assist, he would have had like 20 and 12. You know what I mean? In a college game. Yeah, like they was just missing wide open threes he was setting up. They said he would have had like 20 and 12. So I would choose Jeremiah, right? The fans, they had that vote on Twitter, and I was counting the numbers. It was over 2,000 fans that voted, said they would choose Jeremiah over Trey Johnson and Maluach and
right.
Queen. And Queen was on there. You know what I mean? So I mean, Queen is later, but if we had landed at 5, the fans voted that they want Jeremiah. Yeah.
I could see him being a fan favorite too. Especially here in Brooklyn.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's big for a college player right now, for the fans to say, if we have 5 and we don't draft one of them top 4 and Trey's on the board, we don't want him. Give us Fears. Right. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I would take him over Trey too, because the thing about Trey is I didn't see enough, like, for his size. I didn't see him be definitive in the paint. Like, right. he remind me of Cam Thomas.
He does.
So if you get rid of Cam Thomas and you get him, you getting another Cam Thomas. What are you? What are you doing?
That was my comp. Yeah, that was my comp for him when I first seen him. But Podthorn, when he gave him a comp, he said Joe Johnson. And when I watched him, I see Joe Johnson. You know what I mean?
I can see that in them. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh, he might be right. Joe Johnson might be his
he
comp,
might be more of a Joe Johnson than a Cam.
Yeah, yeah. So I was like, damn, that makes a difference. You know what I mean? That makes
Yeah.
a little bit of a difference.
Mhm.
He's slim. He just slim. You know what I mean?
Right.
But he has Joe's playing style. So
Yeah, but Joe, yeah, he do have Joe's playing style.
yeah. You know what I mean? I don't know if he's gonna turn into Joe or not, but
And
you know
I
what I
don't
mean?
know about that.
Yeah. ISO
Joe,
Joe is
ISO
no joke.
Joe. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? So fans voted. And I was surprised. I'm like, I've been talking about Ferris for a while, but now that we're tanking,
Right.
competitively losing, fans are on board and they say they want Ferris. And I'm like, wow. You know what I'm saying? My guy is moving up in the world. The
Yeah, I
Nets
can see
fans
why
want Ferris.
though.
Yeah.
I can see why this dude is lightning quick, man. He's lightning.
Yes. He got to work on his three ball. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Well,
Brooklyn
I
Bro
mean,
Chris, I see him in the chat.
he can work on
Yeah,
it.
he young. He young.
Yeah.
They say he was still supposed to be in high school right now. And since
Right.
he moved up to go to college, you know what I'm saying? Like taking him is like great. If you land on him, take him, you know what I'm saying? You get like a really young trainable point guard and he like already there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He got things to
Hmm.
work on, but he got all the intangibles to become a good point guard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was like shocked on Twitter when I seen that because being a Nets fan, I know they like point guards, but they like scoring. And I'm surprised they didn't go with Trey. That
Right.
surprised
Right.
me.
Yeah. But
Right.
Trey Johnson is not a point guard though.
Right.
I don't
Right.
he
Nah.
can't I can't see he moved like Joe. Like you said, Joe Johnson didn't move fast. He wasn't a quick mover. He was a
Right.
good dribbler and he was
Yes.
tall.
And he was
So,
skilled.
right, he was skilled. I mean, Joe lights you up. But, he'll
Right.
cross you and light you up. He don't need to go by you. He just needed to step to
Exactly.
the side on you and he'll fire.
Right. That's all.
That's
That
what
little bit of
Trey
skill.
reminds me of. And I don't
Yeah.
see
Yep.
him being like that quick person to get in and make plays for other people. I didn't see that out of him in college. Even though he
Well,
shot most of the ball at Texas,
Mhm.
he was the number one offense for them.
Well, watching him, they said that he could pass. They said he has a high
Oh,
IQ.
okay. Okay.
And he could play make a little bit. But like you said, his team is him. You know what I mean?
It's
So
just him.
Texas saw him.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
just,
so that's what they were saying.
that's what
They
I
said he
didn't
couldn't.
see.
Yeah, man. That's what they were saying. Like he got to do everything. He got to do so much. You don't get to see everything else that he could do. You know what I mean?
Right,
Um,
right.
that kind of sucks in college. That goes into my next topic, Scott.
What's
This
that?
article right here is about the transfer portal. Like let me see if I can pull it up. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it though. So
I see it. Yeah.
Are you see?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
see it now.
it says that more than 750 basketball students enter their name in the portal this
Damn.
Monday when it opened, right?
Wow.
And they ended at a Monday hovering around 1,000 names in the transfer portal. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So with that being said, right? Yeah, with that being said, are the students now realizing if they don't get playing time, or they not getting NIL deals, or you just too good, and you at the wrong school and you can't play? Now you got to go to, you know what I'm saying? Like we talking about Trey went to school when it's just him. Ace and Dylan went to Rutgers. You know what I mean? It's just them. But when you go to Duke too, you know what I mean? That you could have some, like, you might not get to play because you got all these players ahead of you. You know what I mean? Coop.
Right.
Like Isaiah Evans almost took that fall, but he was too good to be on the bench. You know what I mean? But I mean, they wanted him to start now, and he's still not starting, so they bring him off as a 6-man or something like that. So
Right.
the article, my topic is now, Scott. Do you think that sometimes is better to go to a lesser school, or sometimes it's better to go to the best school? You know what I mean? Like it's hard to ask that question because it depends on who you are, what type of player you are, system, and you know what I mean, your playing time and all that. So what you think?
Yeah, I think it depends. I think it depends on if the coach it's going to promise to play you. You know what I'm saying? Then it makes sense to go to the big school.
Right.
That, I mean, that's a hard decision to make because, like I said, when you go to those small schools, you face less talent.
Right.
To your equal, to
Right.
what
You
you
gotta stand
are.
out.
But you know what I'm saying? If you go to Duke, you're going to face big schools. They're going to come with their A game because you Duke. You know what I'm saying? And, you're going to get the best talent. When you get off on good talent, you raise your stock. Plus, you also learning, you facing better talent. But if you on the bench, you might not never get a chance to play because if you're in a big school, everybody can ball on your team.
Right.
Right. So it's all on the coach whether he feels you the best baller in that position that he want to play.
Yeah. Right.
Yes.
So that's my thing, right? 1,000 students in the transfer portal, all trying to switch schools, go to different places, and where they think now I'm not in a good spot. So you got 1,000 players right now thinking they're not in a good spot for their basketball career. And I seen Mikey Williams is another player. I seen him today. He was like one of the first names I seen this morning that entered the transfer portal, who got into a little bit of trouble and trying to get because his name was in the draft early this year, and then it just disappeared. And they wasn't playing him that much at the school in Florida. Now he's in transfer portal, and I know he has talent. So him being on the bench for a while, having that talent, sitting behind, sophomore, juniors, seniors, you know what I mean? And then getting playing time spotty. Now he got to try to find a spot where he can get starting time, you know what I mean? And that's what I'm saying. Like, you went to a smaller school, probably because you got in trouble, but you went to a smaller school, and now you found out at the smaller school you still couldn't get that time, right? And showing your talent, you showed when you had time to show your talent, but now you got to find a school like I said, him and Isaiah Evans, they should have went to Rutgers with you know what I mean? Like with Ace and Dylan. They would have got on the court, and you know what I mean? And they would have showed out. So going to certain schools may not work out best for you. Isaiah Evans got lucky because he got time to show out. When he got in the game, he just lit it up. And they're like, whoa, you too good to be on the bench. You know what I mean? Like, they wasn't even playing him at first neither. And then once he got a chance to get in the game, I believe somebody got hurt. He shot like 6 for 6 from 3, and it was a wrap from there. You know what I mean? So on that, what do you think about? It's such a hard situation, like you said. Like you thinking you're gonna go to school at this school, and you're gonna, you know what I mean? You're gonna do your thing, and then you're like, hold on, this might be the wrong spot for me.
Yeah. I still feel like it's, like as far as talent is concerned, it's real narrow. It's not as wide as you think. And I think like opportunity is, you need some luck. You need some luck. You need to be in the right place. Somebody got to believe in you to give you that opportunity. And it just comes down to being at the right place at the right time with the right people. And then you get your opportunity. Some people fulfill their opportunity and, they get to move on in life and get the opportunity to be in the NBA, get the opportunity to play, get the opportunity to show. And then there's some people who probably deserve the opportunity, but never get that opportunity. And you ain't, it's like you look at the numbers, 750 athletes enter the name in the transfer portal. I mean, come on. Come on.
Right.
A lot of them ain't going to make it on an NBA team.
Right. And
a lot of them.
We talk about the G Leaguers, right?
Yeah.
And then you look at this, you see 750 students hooping that's looking to get, transferred to a better spot, trying to find a better spot for them to better their career in hooping. You know what I mean? And you said, they only draft 60. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, and then out of them 60, half of that they're going to go in the G League.
Right. You know what I mean? Like
More than
it's
half,
tough.
probably. It's not easy to get into the NBA to get that opportunity. And I personally don't believe some people who do make it into the NBA, it's going to materialize into this great career.
Right. Right. You gotta
They
have
probably could have been
and,
somebody that's in the G League that really needed that opportunity.
yes.
Who
I heard
probably
too.
could have probably been an all-star. I know that sounds crazy, but it's not crazy.
No. Because I heard that I don't want to say who, but I heard on a podcast that they say sometimes is who you know and not how you ball. You know what
Right.
I mean?
I'm telling you, it's like that in life. You know, it's simple. It's very simple. I'm telling you.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes it's not about how you hoop. And I heard them NBA people talking about some of these players that we don't even know that they thought should be in the league right now hooping. And they're not nowhere to be probably overseas hooping or something like that. But they believe they're too good, you know what I mean? They should have been in the league and they ain't never make it. So to your point, to me and your point, sometimes just knowing the right person, you can get into the league. It ain't all about those stats and numbers you put up in college. You know what I mean?
Right. Nope. It ain't got nothing to do with that. It's just you need that opportunity and you hungry enough and it's the right moment with the right team, with the right people.
Yeah.
You need a lot of stuff to go right for you.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy, but you do. And that's why I say you just lucky, man. You got your opportunity and you got your shot. And you came through. It was all luck. Because everybody in here in your class, not everybody, but you got to remember, it's 750 to 1,000 people in the transfer portal. Of that, there was probably 3,000 people playing. So you was already lucky just to be able to get the opportunity that somebody wanted to even see you.
Right.
Let alone play.
Right. So yeah, it's a difficult question to answer because I know when you choose, these guys take time and go visit colleges and be like, all right, you know what I'm saying? I feel like this is where I need to be. And then when you get there and settle in, and like you said, the coach may not give you playing time, or you might get a little bit of playing time and you're not showing off everything you could do. You feel like you could do more. Now you got to find another spot, but it's 750, you know what I'm saying? 1,000 of y'all looking for another spot. Yeah. So like I said, we talk about the G League being, limited or having players trying to make it, but college, like 1,000 students of hoopers trying to find a different school. Now this is the question I'll be having, like, what are you going to choose now? Like, where are you going to get this time that you're looking for? You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm saying now. Like, the way that you are, you might not be able to go to a Duke. You might not be able to go to a, you know what I mean, Tennessee or nothing like that. So my question to you, Scott, is you thinking, I'm thinking this, the way that Ace and Dylan did it, right? Even though they were 5-star recruits.
Right.
Would you think now that if, just say me and you was coming out of high school, we 5-star recruits, instead of going to the big school, I holler at you and be like, hey, Scott, yo, I just seen what Ace and Dylan just did over in Rutgers. It wasn't that great.
Right.
But they got the time. They got the time over there. What you think about, you know what I'm saying? Something like that. Would you think, or do you think 5-star recruits or anybody that's named really big should go to I don't want to say Rutgers is a lesser school, but not a big name school?
Right. If it depends, but I mean, if you, long as you in a conference that you face teams that's kind of good, then you'll still be able to shine. See, I think Rutgers is one of those schools that is in a conference with other schools that might be a little better than them. Mm-hmm. So it gives them some light. And it didn't hurt that they was in a metropolitan area. They in a big area, so it didn't hurt them that bad. So I mean, it's I look at Dylan Harper. You could tell he just got it.
Right.
I don't care
Right.
where you go, you can tell he got it. He
Right.
got the height, he got the weight, he got everything going for him. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah. I think see now that I'm thinking and I seen how this season play out, I wasn't a real college ball watcher. So I'm watching now because you know what I mean, we got a draft. But the way that I seen them two, and then the way I seen Cooper Flag and Isaiah Evans, right? Because like I said, Duke has 5 guys in the draft right now.
yeah,
Four that might be in the first round and 1 in the second, right?
right,
And then Rutgers got 2, but those 2 guys did everything for Rutgers. You know what I mean? Like Cooper
yeah,
Flag had a whole 5-star recruiting. Isaiah Evans might not even got playing time. Some fans were saying he needed to come back to Duke, but I'm like, if he went back to Duke, he might not even start.
right.
You
You
know what
might
I
not
mean?
even play.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you got other 5 stars coming in, and you know what I'm saying? Those younger dudes got to play right away. You know what I mean? They might play some seniors here and there, but you know what I'm saying? You might have to scoot out the way a little bit. So knowing that and seeing it, if I'm now looking at them, if I was a 5-star recruit, I would go somewhere like I would start trying to team up with somebody else, like Trey, you in Texas. You know what I mean? Let me
right.
see if I can go over there with you. Or Rutgers, you need one over there. You only got Ace, and you know what I mean? Let
Yeah,
me go hoop with them guys. Let me
right,
not try to go to the big schools, even though
right.
you know what I mean. I think I'm gonna get the spotlight. But if I go somewhere with some other guys that need some help, that I believe, you know what I mean, I
Right.
think that would be a better choice, depending on the situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I agree. It's crazy, man, but that's the way it is. I mean,
Yeah,
it worked out for them at Rutgers.
yeah,
I'm happy for them. They're going to still be in that top 5. I think they just talented. They just won. It's unfortunate that one of them might go someplace that they might not want to go, but
hey,
hey, it is what it is. You're gonna have to just hopefully get that opportunity to show your game. There's been
right,
plenty of players that come out of the league, come out of college, come out of the draft, go to other teams and get buried on the bench, man. It
yeah,
happens, and
it
especially, I
happened,
mean, number one, Marshawn, we can name players that's on the bench right now
right,
that
yeah.
in the top 5 draft picks might
Talk
still be in
about
the league, but they're not playing. They're not starting.
yeah, talk about it. Talk about. I seen draft picks in the G League. I
And go
seen
right
guys
to
in
the
the G
G
League.
League. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Hey,
so don't
most of the most of the second round guys go to the G League. Most of them. Some of the first round guys at the bottom in your 20s, they go to the G League. You know what I mean? Depending
it's
on
not
skill.
easy. It's a mental thing, isn't it? I don't even think it's like, oh, can these guys play? It's just that, can they connect? Can they
Right,
connect with that coach? Can they connect with that organization?
right,
Because people have feelings and stuff, shit, and life is still going on for them. They're young. Some of them
right,
are 18, 17, 18-year old. What you expect from a 17-year-old? For real. 18-year-old, 19-year-old.
right.
How much
Yeah.
maturity can you expect for somebody, a young man at 19?
None. You know what I mean?
Because I
Unless
remember
they've
when
been
I was
around somebody.
19,
Right. Yeah. Unless you've
I,
been around somebody who grown that you know
I needed my older brothers to put their foot in my ass sometimes.
right.
I'm being real.
Yeah. You gotta have somebody older around you to straighten you out a little bit. You know what I mean? You might not listen all the way, but you know what I mean? You're gonna take
Yeah.
something. You're
Especially
gonna take
now if
some of
you
that.
thinking that you the shit.
Yeah. Hey, that happens. That happens. You
Oh,
know?
I got drafted. I got this big check, this one time big check, and you know what I'm saying? I ain't never seen this
Yeah.
kind of money. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Can't nobody tell me nothing. Can't nobody tell
Nothing.
me nothing.
Nothing.
Right? You know what I mean? But
Mm.
yeah.
So the mentality has to be right. The situation has to be right. The player's mentality has to be right. It has to fit. Hopefully they have the background to fit into a group or organization where they feel like family, where they dedicated to playing the game. You know what I'm saying? You don't need nobody to tell you what to do. You're going to do it anyway because you want to get better.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
So that's how people become superstars. That's how, that's not how you become a superstar, but that's how you become a good player in the NBA.
Yes.
It's not easy.
No.
I know it's not easy. I'm looking at Drew Timme. He's doing his thing.
Yeah. Timme be going off, man. Timme be doing his Timme don't look like a hooper.
Yeah, Fears be going crazy. Yeah, Fears is definitely nice. Yeah. Definitely. He would fit. Brooklyn is one of those spots. It's known for guards. We had some great guards in the NBA. They came out of Brooklyn.
He is one, man. He is one.
He would fit love in this. I know that I can see it. I can almost see it.
Yeah.
Whether they pick it, if this is the bad part, Iceman, this is the bad part. If we get 1 through 3, we're not going to pick Fears.
Oh no.
And he's not going to be there for our later picks. So that's the sad part. And they're not going to draft down. I know, some people say maybe they should get rid of some of their draft picks and move down. I don't think they're going to do that.
I don't think so either.
I don't think they're going to do that.
I seen them say that they might move a pick. I'm not sure in the later rounds. But like I said, I don't even think they should do that. Right? Because on my draft, I had it up there. I just took it down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
On my mock draft, like the 5 guys that I'm taking, depending on where I land, right? The 5 guys it was Jeremiah, athletic wing, scoring wing at 6'6", a center, and a taller 2 guard. You know what I mean? 6'7" 2 guard, Miles Bird. And I felt like those are things that we don't have that could be better. You know what I'm saying? We could improve with 5 players. If you choose 4, I still feel like you're gonna miss out on somebody. You know what I mean? Like it's this when you draft, and I was trying to explain that earlier. When you draft, it's so difficult to draft players because depending on who comes off the board where. And you look at the Nets, we kind of like everybody says we need a little bit of everything. We don't have a lot of athleticism. Yeah. That's why Maxwell Lewis looks so good. You know what I mean? Coming down the lane, get a fast play. You're like, yo, my man got some athleticism.
Right.
We don't have that.
Right.
So when I was drafting, I was like, okay, he's a wing. He's 6'9", athletic, catch the lob, shoot the 3, play defense, block shots. We don't have that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Add that on the list. Now, another 2 guard. All our 2 guards, Keon Johnson, Tyrese Martin, Jalen Wilson, all 6'6". You know what I mean?
But Keon is explosive, though.
Yes, he is. Keon is, right? But I'm like, all right, we don't have any taller 2 guards. We don't have no size.
No, we don't have nobody. We don't have no size. No.
So when I was doing my draft, I'm like, I'm looking at these things while I'm drafting, trying to figure out who to pick. And I'm like, okay, I got this guy. You know what I'm saying? Now, Nick Claxton and Day'Ron. If one of them go down, like I always say, one of them go down, we don't have nobody else. Noah Clowney is not a center. Right?
No, he's not.
Pick up a center, right?
Putting him in center is demoralizing to his game.
Right.
You can demoralize a player by putting him up against people you know he shouldn't be defending.
Exactly.
That's my opinion. Especially when they're young. Especially like in Noah Clowney's case. He's still,
young.
Yeah.
Still learning.
Yeah, he's still right.
Trying to get his game together. He ain't
trying to get his game together. Yeah.
Yeah.
You could destroy his game by putting him in the bad positions.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So when I looked at the draft, when I drafted, I was thinking about these, and when I heard they going, they might give up one of their picks, trade one of their picks, I'm like, why?
Why?
You know what I mean? To me, like, you need to draft as many.
You need an opportunity as much as you can, right?
Yeah. You need every bit. You already gave up one of the second rounds because you had 6 picks. Now you're down to 5, and you think about going down to 4.
Right.
I don't know. I wouldn't do that. I would not do that. I wouldn't take 3 players. I would take 5 players. And if I gotta send one to the G League, that's cool with me. You know what I'm saying? Stash. You know what I'm saying? Stash a player. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
When we getting ready to do our thing, you know what I'm saying? Or I might have to call you up, see where you at in your game. They did that for Clowney. They did that for Derek Whitehead. They did that for Jalen Wilson. You know what I'm saying? I would draft 5. You got 2 picks next year in next year's draft. You know what I mean? Draft all the guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Draft all the guys. Like everyone was saying, this team might not be the same as later on, but you know what I mean? You want to draft as much talent as you can right now.
Yeah, especially right now because this is your opportunity. You just now recently built your opportunity back up so you can get a high draft pick. So, I mean, you got 4 picks or 3. How many? I think it's 4 picks total.
5 picks right now.
5 total, right?
Yeah.
4 in the first, one in the second, right? I think so. Yeah. So, I mean, they got to do what they got to do. They got to make their moves now. You can't just mess around and say, "Oh, I know a lot of people wish that we have that they say next year's draft is going to be big, but you can't depend on anything that you don't know until you know." As a GM, you got to worry about what's in front of you. Can't worry about next year. You don't know what next year is going to bring you.
Right. You don't.
You're always trying to build a team. Yes, you want to build a team, and you go through these growing pains of losing right now, making your team look bad. I mean, it's not something that you want to do. It's not something that you want to do. So everything works out.
Yeah, it is. And you want to, all that talent. Every time I did one of those mock drafts, I felt like I left somebody off the board. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many people to grab, and I'm like, man, like I don't know why they want to do that. I don't know why they want to give up a pick. I don't see why. You know what I'm saying? They want to do that. Too much good talent.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time watching these college players. Even in the tournament, this whole season, this whole NBA season, I've been paying attention to the draft picks, the young guys in college and stuff. I have never watched this much college basketball.
Me either.
I have never watched this, but I mean, every day I was watching something. I don't care what league it was in, but scouring, looking for different. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, and it's a lot of decisions to be made. You can easily pass up on somebody if you don't pay attention.
Definitely. And I seen today, I read an article, and I wanted to pull that up too, but I'm not going to pull it up. It said there was 5 players that the Nets could be interested, and another center, the other center I was talking about, Ryan Kalkbrenner, played for Stanford. Is it Stanford? No, don't give me. No, Creighton. He plays for Creighton. Yeah.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. So his name was on the list.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And I'm like, okay. Yeah, I'm like, okay. So the Nets might just be interested in a center. And if they give him one of those picks, I'm not sure how they're going. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's gonna be tough. You know what I mean? They're gonna have to make some decisions, but it got me thinking. That's what I was talking about earlier on one of my streams. Nick Claxton and Day'Ron. One of these jobs could be up, or we could just have 3 centers. I don't know.
Well, I always tell people Nick Claxton is really not a center.
Definitely,
he's really not a center.
Right.
He's more of a forward than a center. But that,
That's where they put him.
He's 6'11", so they put him center.
Yeah.
So
I've been looking. I'm trying to find out all the players because the last time the draft came around, it took me a while. I had to keep googling stuff to figure out who these guys are working out for the draft, players they're interested in, and stuff like that. But now I seen two centers that they both 7 foot. You know what I mean? I don't believe Thomas Sorber was on the list. I don't think he was on the list. But now the two 7-foot centers make me think like, okay, maybe they changing something up this time around, and they want to go with a shooting big, that stretch big. Both of them shoot. The percentage isn't high, but they can stretch the floor and they can create. Both can create. One is a better shot blocker. Kaltbrunner is the better shot blocker. I think Reynard is the better all around player.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But they both can score. They both do you know what I'm saying, different things. Same thing, but differently, you know, different strength. And I'm like, okay, this time maybe, you know what I'm saying? Brooklyn might be looking for a big.
Right. They need one. I can tell you that right now. They need a real center. They need a center, man. To take that weight off of. I mean, I know Claxton. I know people are talking about, oh, they want to get rid of Claxton. I like Claxton. I like his game. It would fit when you put the right pieces around him. I like Day'Ron. Day'Ron shows me that he's just a menace under the paint. He's just a menace. He might not be the most skilled, but he's a menace. He's a body that bangs on people, and they know if they don't block him out, he's gonna rebound like crazy. They know that. So I like his game. His game is good too. He seemed like he wants to shoot. They need another big body.
Yeah, Day'Ron definitely want to shoot. That's a fact. He been dying to shoot since last year.
He want to show that he can hit that shot.
Yeah,
but I was telling people earlier, like when you look at the game, right, and you count each game that you play, how many shot attempts you take in a official game capacity. It's only but so many times you're going to shoot the ball.
Right.
Who you going to put the ball in? You're going to put your ball in your center's hand? If your center is really skilled as a shooter, then yes. But neither Claxton or Day'Ron is Jokic.
Exactly.
So you're not going to put it in his hands or their hands. You know, you're going to put it in your scorer's hands.
Definitely. And you
in your shooter's hands.
Yeah. You get a shot when you get a shot. You know what I
mean? You're right. Yeah. There's only so many shots in a game. You know what I'm saying? There's only so many opportunities.
Right. That's what they're dealing with right now. They're getting their opportunity right now. I like Nick too.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I like Nick. And I keep saying, you seen when he had Kevin Durant next to him, he's not that Kevin Durant is the best defender, but you got another defender next to him.
Right.
That can help him out. You know what I mean?
Right.
Kevin ain't that big either, but it worked.
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because he didn't have to worry about shooting because you knew who was getting the ball.
Right.
And everybody else knew.
Right. You know what I mean?
So when they just need you to run around so I can feed you the ball when I need to.
Yeah.
And he was good at that.
That's what I keep saying. You know what Nick can do when he has a better team around him. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Yeah. But Solo, and right now, man, Nick not looking, you know what I'm saying? All the fans want him gone. You know what I'm saying? They want him gone because they want a bigger center. And a bigger center doesn't mean, you know what I mean? Yeah, right. Exactly.
Doesn't mean better.
Right.
You can't tell people nothing, man. Let them find out.
Yo, yeah.
Because I've seen this played out before. Like I tell people all the time, I'm not no scout. I mean, I watched the game for a long time. I watched Dr. J play at Nassau Coliseum. So I've been watching the game for a long time. It hasn't changed.
Not at all.
It's the same game. You can add all what you want. It's still basketball. I don't care how you twist it. The only thing that changed when they put that 3-point line, they made it easier for shorter people to shoot.
Definitely.
That's it. That's it. Other than that, that's it. Yeah, it changed the game, but I mean, still basketball. Center is a center. You got a good center, you can get busy.
Right. You know what I mean? You gotta do some things when you got a big center, a good center. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm surprised though that they're still interested. So I know Net fans gonna be happy that they're interested. It all depends on if they grab a center or not. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if they're gonna grab one.
Yeah, they're gonna get one. He probably gonna get it at that later in the first round. I guarantee you.
Both of them so far, it depends on the draft. Both of them been mocked in some in the 20s, and then some they're in the
second
30s.
round.
Yeah, the 30s to 40s.
There's a couple in the second round too.
Yeah,
but and they legitimate centers, but they just their skill set is not developed, but they big bodies. So we'll see. We'll see. I have faith that things are going to work out. And besides, like you said, you got 5 picks. You can't mess this up, man. Sean, don't mess this up. Well, I feel Sean is a great late round picker.
He is.
That's what I feel.
Is. Yeah, you give him.
He knows talent. He knows talent when he sees it. I think he knows. He just got to get the right pieces.
Yeah, you give him those picks. He gonna work some magic in the late rounds. You know what I mean?
I know he don't trade him though. I don't want him to trade it though. He might if somebody make an offer, but nobody really he has a hard time getting deals with other teams because they don't want it. For some reason, I don't think other organizations want Brooklyn to be shining, So I ain't giving it to you. It's like the Knicks. The Knicks can't get nothing either. Nobody really wants to give the Knicks anything. That's another organization that don't get along with other teams. Wow.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
We'll see though.
5 picks can change the entire team. Yep. You know what I mean?
Yeah. 5 picks can.
They can change the entire team. It all depends on who they draft, and that's what I want to see. I'm so interested now on who it is that they're interested in drafting, who they want to draft. You know what I mean? I know who we would like to draft. I don't know who they would like to draft. And I'm hoping they watching my mock drafts on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? And seeing how I draft because my drafts are nice.
You put your mock draft on Twitter?
Yeah, I put my mock draft on Twitter.
Okay.
Like, not the whole draft, just how I drafted. They got this thing called Fanspo, and I go on there and you can simulate the draft and you can choose for your team. You know what I mean? Your players that you like.
Right.
And that's what I be posting on Twitter. You know what I mean? I take a picture of it on my phone, screenshot it, and put it on there, and just see if fans agree with what how I'm drafting. You know what I mean?
Oh, I think I saw it. I haven't been on Twitter today though.
Yeah.
I gave Twitter a break today because I'll be on Twitter sometimes. I had to give it a break, but I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna see what you got.
Let me see if I can pull one up. I got one on here right now. Let me see if I can pull it up. See if it works on here.
Oh, okay.
There it is.
There you go.
Yeah.
This is your mock draft.
This one. Yeah, those are my mock draft. Just messing around. You know what I'm saying? I got the first pick. I took Cooper. Then I took Noah Esenge. Right? Then I took Danny Wolf. And then I put,
I told you Danny Wolf. I like Danny Wolf. I like his game. Yeah.
Then I took the center they was interested in, Max Reynard, and then Isaiah Evans from Duke. So I seen Cooper could play a little bit of point forward. Noah, you know what I'm saying? Raw talent, but he's good. There's no telling what he's turned into. Danny Wolf could play your 4. You know what I mean?
Right.
Skill 4, 7 foot, and Reynard your center. You know what I mean? And then you got another 3. He's 6'6", but he's a lights out 3-point shooter. You know what I mean? And there's no telling what he could turn into. In high school, they call him the baby Brandon Ingram. You know what I mean?
Oh
So
wow.
I took a chance on Isaiah Evans. That's the guy that was sitting on their bench at Duke. You know what I mean?
Right.
And they like he got too much talent to be sitting on the bench. So that was just one of them. I posted on Twitter. That one didn't get a lot of views because I posted all at the same time. So everybody just picked one to go to. But that's what I'm saying. This how it shows up. You know what I mean? And you just pick who you want. You can simulate and go through whatever, you know what I'm saying? You want to speed up the draft and just pick your players. And you'll see it's so difficult to choose depending on who you pick first.
Right.
It gets your mind thinking like, what do you need with this? You know what I'm saying? What do you need for the team? And especially like you get Cooper Flag, like, you know, what other player will work good. Plus you need, like, we need everything. So you trying to think, you know what I mean?
Yeah, now you're starting to look at everything else. Yeah.
Right.
Right.
So I'm like, people don't understand now I understand how difficult it is when you know what I mean, depending on who, because if you draft Dylan Harper, then they the drafts, if they choose different players too, depending on who's off the board, they start switching up who they picking, and I'm like, oh man, like, hold up, now I gotta build a team, you know what I'm saying? I gotta draft a little bit slightly different and try to do the same things in a different way. Every time I pick Coop, I pick Ace, I pick Fears, it was all basically, you know what I'm saying? They drafted the players differently. So it's difficult, man. It's real difficult. But I feel like I'm a good drafter. So I hope the Nets is paying attention to my drafts.
Yeah, they pay attention. I'm quite sure they you know. Yeah, that's a good pick. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. It's all right, especially you got number 1 pick. So you got Cooper Flag. So you can't go bad after that once you get that number 1. At least you know one that, I mean, you don't know, but at least you having an idea that where he's going to fit in your team.
Right.
With all the attention that he has his game, you know, what he does, what he brings, what he can bring, his potential.
Right.
You know
what I'm saying?
Plus, I like our coach. I like our coach. Our coach is
coach is nice, and he gonna put these guys to work.
Yeah.
What I found interesting too, Scott, I don't think fans know, like Danny Wolf is basically the only 7-footer that's in this draft that you can put at power forward.
I know.
Also, yeah.
But I was telling people I like his game. I would pick him. I would pick him. I like Danny Wolf.
Yeah, I was looking for height. I'm like, hold on, Danny, the only one that's 7 foot that can play at power forward and center. Like
he shows me that he can play in the middle of the floor. In the middle of that floor, he can pass, he can shoot, he can crash the boards. He's versatile. Put him in the corner. He can come to the boards. I mean, it's just a lot he can do.
Yes, and I found that out while doing this draft. I'm like, hold on, there's no others. Everybody else, Janiyah Brum, 6'10". There are some power forwards, but they kind of slim. 6'11". There's like 2 there. But other than that, like there's no real, you know what I'm saying, power forwards I could put at center. So as I build a team, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for another center, max, but I'm looking for a power forward that I could put at center as well. And he's like the only one. And I'm like, that is crazy. You know what I'm saying? So how difficult it is to find you a power forward that can spell you some time at center, that has the size and the height. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's
exactly.
tough to come by. It's tough.
It's tough. Yeah. I told people before, I like Danny Wolf's play. Max Renard, I haven't watched too much of him. He is Stanford, right?
Yeah, he's Stanford.
Yeah. Okay. I know of him, but I haven't watched too much of him.
Yeah, all you gotta do is check out his highlights.
Yeah, I try to watch his. I mean, I watch some people's highlights, but I try to watch them in gameplay, which makes it even more difficult because it's like 400 colleges.
Right.
How am I watch all those games? And some of them games I can't even get. I try to get and I can't.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
so
I
it is
try
what
I
it
try
is.
to check out whoever's on the draft board or a name that I like. I see some highlights and I just go by that. You know what I mean? Whoever's on
Okay.
the draft
Yeah.
board. And I'm like, all
Yeah.
right, Danny playing today. Let me check out Danny. Jeremiah playing today. All right, Trey Johnson. And basically
Right.
once I see them like once or twice, I got an idea of what, you know what I'm saying? They
Yeah.
skill
Yeah.
set,
Yeah.
stuff
Yeah.
like that. I don't
Mhm.
really gotta watch too much. But like Max, he's interesting. And so is Kalkbrenner. But Max is like, I don't even know who he plays like because I seen him create from the three. I
Right.
seen him in the post. I seen him
So
shoot the three.
he's a stretch big.
Yeah, both of them. Him and Ryan Kalkbrenner both stretch bigs. Ryan only shoots 30% for a big. And I think he might shoot maybe a little bit better, 32% or something like that. But they both can shoot it. And they both can drive from the 3-point line to the rim. They can take their
Wow.
man off the dribble and drive to the rim. You know what I mean?
Right.
Kalkbrenner's a little bit slower. Reynard is a little bit quicker. But they do everything. You know what I mean? He can pass out of double teams. He can do all that. And they
Right.
had to double team him at Stanford. You know
Oh,
what I'm saying? Like they had, yeah.
I
Like
see this guy. He moved kind of fluently, man.
yeah, they couldn't let him go ISO on nobody. They double teamed him every time. So I'm like, dang, I'm like, yo, you know what I'm saying? You that skill, they got to double team you. Like, yeah. So I'm like, all right, finally the Nets, you know what I'm saying? They looking for somebody with some skill, and that's what we need. Players with skill, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I see that he can pass. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, he can shoot the three.
Yeah.
Oh man, he can blow by people. Oh shit.
That's
Oh,
what I'm
okay.
talking about.
He
Yeah.
showed that he got quickness.
Yeah, he's not too slow. He's you know what I mean? And he's 7 foot. He's
Yeah.
7 foot too. So you know what I'm saying? I'm happy that I seen them names mentioned by the Nets. Like they could have some interest in these guys, or they do have interest in these two centers. You know what I mean? So that got me like, yeah, wait till draft time or close to draft time, and what's the combine, the NBA combine, when I could
Yeah.
get more names and of players, because I know they're gonna choose other players that I don't even know about. You know what I mean? What up? What up, JP? You know what I'm saying? They're gonna choose other players I don't know about, and I gotta go look these players up like I always do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Who
I'm
they
checking
are.
out this tape of Ray McNaught, Ray
Yeah,
Maxie Renard.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
He's
he's
nice
pretty good.
too.
He's pretty good,
Yeah,
man. I didn't know
yeah,
that. Yeah. I didn't see his little tapes. I didn't see
yeah,
his
man.
tape.
He nice. He nice, bro. So the Nets got interest in him, got me hyped up. You know what I mean? And I hope they draft one of them. They got to draft at least one of them. They can't leave these guys on the board for somebody else to pick up. They with 5 picks, even if they trade one, they gotta draft one of them guys. It's a must. You know what I'm saying? I feel like if they don't get Kalkbrenner or Reynard, I feel like how Leaf and Pa be feeling if they don't draft top three. You know what I mean? Like you gotta get one of them guys, man. You know what I'm saying? Even if they don't work out in the long run, still right now, when them guys is on the market with that size and they could do everything, you want to pick
Yeah.
one of them up right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he ACC. So I mean, he played at Stanford at ACC. Yeah, he's 7-1.
Yeah.
7-1. Yeah,
Yeah,
7-1.
he had they said at one point in time he was second in scoring and first in rebounding in the ACC. You know what I mean? Like he be he be doing his thing out there. He be doing his thing out there, Scott. But his name was the first name I seen mentioned on Twitter with the Nets. I seen two people posted that do things along with the Nets, said that the Nets had interest in him. So I'm like, oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? Don't get me hyped up. You know what I mean?
He's from France, though. You know that, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, he's from France.
international.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's from
Nets trying to
France.
make some bread.
Yeah, he's 21 years old. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
he
know what
might
I'm
be
saying? Like,
ready. He might come in the
Yeah.
league ready. Yeah.
Yeah, they say he was a walk-on at that.
Right.
Yeah, he was a walk-on. Ain't play hoops like that or nothing like that. He walk on and he's hooping. Every year he got better in college. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he's 21. Take a chance. Why not? Take a chance. Why not?
Yeah,
You know what
he'll
I'm
be
saying?
there in the later rounds. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll
Hopefully,
be
yeah.
there.
In the 20s to 40s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I hope they reach if they trade one of them picks, right? And they still in the late 20s, like 27, they gotta pick him. They gotta reach for him if he's in the second round. They gotta go
If
pick him.
they trade a pick,
Uh-huh.
if they trade one of their number one picks and do whatever they do, or trade a second to move down a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
I would hope they're getting somebody that fell back,
Right.
but I don't know if they will get Max Renard.
That's what I'm saying. I just seen the interest.
Or they could just sit pat and he'll probably fall in their lap.
Exactly.
And just pick your picks that you got. I mean, you got 4 of them in the first round. Come on.
Right. So even in the mock draft, Scott, when I did this, when you got to your third pick, you had to draft him at 4. You know, with your 4th pick, you had because he would go off the board. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. So even on here, like I drafted Danny, and if I'm messing around, just like I could wait. You know what I'm saying? And every time I waited, you know what I mean? They will reach out and grab him. You know what I'm saying? Or they'll reach out and grab somebody else and mess up a whole draft. You know what I mean? So I think if they give up their third pick, say they give up the third pick, and they still got that 4th one, they got to pick them up. You know what I mean? I don't think they could wait to the 5th. That last pick is like in the 30s.
Yeah.
I think if they wait there, he might be gone. So
he's before on this draft thing. He's before Johnny Broom. Wow. Johnny Broom, 32.
Yeah. Some draft boards they switch them up. You know what I'm saying? Some Janai is higher. Sometimes Max be higher. It all depends on the draft board.
Okay.
Or where you draft or what number they get drafted at. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that I hope they need to draft one of the Nets, Brooklyn Nets. If you hear me, you got to draft one of these bigs, Ryan Kalkbrenner or Max Renault. You gotta draft one. Don't leave them on the board.
I hope they do. I really do.
Yeah.
I hope they do.
The only one I heard that may fall is Thomas Sorber. You know what I mean? Thomas Sorber may fall in the draft because of his injury. And I know Nets like to take chances on guys like that. But I was saying too, he's 6'10". So
he's not a real center like that.
You would I keep saying if you draft Thomas Sorber, you still gotta draft the big. Right? If he's I keep saying his style is like a little bit like Bam Adebayo's.
Right.
If you draft him, you have to get a center. You've seen what Miami did. So you got to go out and get yourself a center, you know what I mean, to go along with it, go along with him. And you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't mind that, but he's like you say, he's not a center. 6'10s is difficult to be center. There are a few centers that are 6'10s, but if you got a Max Renaud or Kalkbrenner in this draft, you want to grab one of them. And if you want Sorber, you can grab Sorber, but you got to draft the big.
Yeah. You got to. You got to draft a big getting him.
That's what I think. That's what I think too. Any power forward or slash center, even with Queen. Even when I look at Queen, I say, all right, maybe he could spell you some minutes at center. I don't know if he's going to be a Draymond Green. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know if he's going to be that. But even if you draft him, you still want to, you know what I mean? Just in case you want to put him at center and he's not working out, you want to draft the big. You want to have somebody behind him. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. So I always do that when I draft. I always try to draft the big for the most part. Most drafts I draft the big because 6'10s, even 6'11 in this draft, slim bodies. Like I said, Danny Wolf is the only 7 foot. Well, he's like 250. or two something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he got a little weight to him. So.
Yeah. The only power forward, somebody can put that power forward, shoot the three, create, for himself and all that. You know what I mean? That has the size and the weight and the skill. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? Like, it's the draft is difficult, and Danny Wolf might be a steal. The way that it's looking for power forwards.
I think he
size
is.
And height.
I think I was telling people about Danny Wolf a long time ago. I said Danny Wolf is a skilled big.
Yeah, there you go. JP Sorwer Nets got plenty of players similar to him. They like clones. They do like the clones. You already.
Yeah, I don't know why. They need to get off that clone, but Sorwer is
Yeah, he's not a center.
Yeah,
he's not a center at all. You know what I mean? And JP, you already know, I don't like clones. You know what I mean? Well, and I seen. That's another topic I wanted to talk about. But I seen I believe Will Riley's name was mentioned somewhere, but Pod Thorne said he was just like Cam Johnson, and when I actually got a chance to watch Will Riley, paid attention to him, I seen Cam Johnson, and I'm like, oh no, we can't draft this dude, bro. Cam Johnson works in this offense, but we can't have two Cam Johnsons, bro. It's no way. So I tend to stay away, even if he's on the board. I stay away from him because he turns and shoots just like Cam Johnson. He got a little better handle, you know what I mean? And I think Will is 6'8". He's 6'8", but I'm like, we already got Cam Johnson. We don't need another Cam Johnson. So I hope the Nets. And it said that he didn't even enter the draft, that he might stay at Illinois another year. I thought his name is on the draft board, but they say that
they took him, that he's not on the board. He's not coming out.
Yeah, I think he might be going back next year. Something saying that they expect or he's going back to Illinois college. And I'm like, damn, all these players on the board and nobody knows if they legit. I just started seeing on Twitter like, okay, he is into the draft. He is into the draft. And I'm like, so they ain't even in the draft yet. They just got players lined up, and we don't know who's really in the draft yet. You know what I mean?
They just assuming, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, man, that's messed up. And now I gotta pay attention to everybody that's in the draft. I gotta look at, see if anybody update their draft boards online and see who's really in the draft. You know what I mean?
Right.
If he's out and you know what I mean, someone else is out. Right. And all these players in the transfer portal, you know what I mean? Some of them guys might be in the draft and they transferring to another to another school.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's crazy out here. You know what I mean? You got anything you want to talk about, Scott, while we up here?
No, that's it. I mean, I was intrigued with that Drew Timme. I was intrigued, man. I wanted to find out more because I don't pay attention to the G League like I should.
Yeah, man.
And Drew, I know there's talent there. I know it. Trust me,
he's he's talented. Drew, I watch the G League games when I can, and when I watch him, all I say is give him the ball. You come down, shoot a couple of threes, and you miss. Or you miss a layup, I'm like, as soon as you give him the ball, he's scoring, you know what I mean? Or he make a nice little assist pass. I'm like, give him the ball, let him go to work. So Drew Timme, like I said, he's not somebody we have on this roster. We don't have nobody like Drew Timme at all. Look, JP said Drew Timme is Danny Wolf 2.0. You know what I mean? Like we don't have him on the team. You know what I mean? And JP, you might be right. But Drew Timme is not as tall as Danny. Danny's 7 foot. But Danny got a little bit handle. But as far as the scoring and the play, yeah, man. Drew Timme be giving buckets. He be giving buckets.
Yeah, I see his stats. His stats is tight in G League though.
Yeah, 30 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists for the month. Like, why is he down there?
Yeah. Well, you can't bring him up, man. We be winning games, man. We've been winning games. We're trying to get that. We're trying to get Cooper Flag or somebody, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Hey, yeah. I seen fans changing the tune that they want Coop. I'm still an Ace guy. I'm not moving off Ace Bailey at all. I know what Cooper. I'm gonna say this while I'm online before I get off, before I close out.
Okay.
Ace Bailey stats is almost the same stats as Cooper Flag, except for the assist. Cooper has 5 more assists, and 3 more points.
And that's only because the different type of players you around.
And there it is. There it is. You said it.
You see the center they do got. That guy he lives around the rim. He lives around the rim. Ain't nobody can do anything with him neither.
Exactly.
You talk about somebody you don't even need to shoot a three. He just rim run all day.
Exactly.
Pick and roll to the rim.
No, Rutgers got a 6'10" center. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And a 6'9" center. Like, come on, man. Like,
and they got this African dude, 7'1", with a wingspan longer than his body. His hand will damn near touch his ankle.
Exactly. And I said, floor space and all that, not the same. They got to work harder. Dylan and Ace got to work harder.
Shit is crazy.
I even seen Paul George say he would take Ace over Flag. You know what I'm saying? And that tells me that everybody sees what they see. What I see, I see what Flag does, but there's no telling where Ace can go where he's at right now. And think he has the biggest buster boom. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking a chance. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Coop may be more ready, but I'll take a chance on Ace, because if he hits his ceiling. And it's real high.
Well, do you think fans really going to be mad at? Would you think fans would really be mad? Say we get the number 1 pick. Say we do. Because I hear some people say this. You got to take Cooper. Would Sean Marks be in a hot seat if he didn't take Cooper?
And he took Ace. I think he would, but I wouldn't. Again, if I was one, if I got one, I'm taking Ace. I'm taking Ace. And I'm not even thinking about it. I'm not even thinking about if I should draft Coop. No. Because look, the way I look at it, right, and the way it goes, right, number one. And who do you think, like I keep saying, who do you think is number 1, right? It's not who's number 1 on the board, it's who your organization thinks is number 1. Now, if the organization thinks Ace is number 1, then I don't think he gets fired. But if he goes and they had a little discussion and be like, I think we should go Coop, and he go Ace, and it don't work out, then you know what I mean? Then I think he gets fired. You know what I mean? But you know what I'm saying? Like, just because he's 1 doesn't mean he's 1 for your organization. He's 1 on the board. Biggest talked about. He could end up being number 2. You know what I'm saying? Because I like, as much fans talk about Coop being locked at 1, Dylan being locked at 2, and Ace being locked at, I still hear organizations say they value they would take Dylan Harper, or I hear they would take Ace because there's upside. You know what I mean? He has questions, right?
Yeah.
And even though they got questions about Dylan and Ace, like, the question for Flag is like, is he gonna get, how much higher can he go from where he's at? And that's, you know what I'm saying? They're like, you might not get that much more from him, even though he's number 1, right? So there's questions with all 3 of them, and Ace has the highest ceiling.
Yeah,
they're more ready than Ace now. So, like, who are you choosing? You choosing the guy with the highest ceiling? And I figure that's what you're going to draft to do. Choose the guy with the highest ceiling, even though he could end up being a bust, but he does have the highest ceiling. You know what I mean? He's already doing NBA stuff right now.
Right.
Things. So, you know what I mean? What you think?
Yeah, no, I think you're right. You have no choice, but you do what's best for your team. If you feel if he's number 1 if Cooper is number 1 on your board, then you got to go with Cooper. If Ace is number 1 on your board, you got to go with Ace. So, Sean just got to live with whatever decision he makes. I'm not going to be mad at him either way, though. Be honest with you.
Right.
That's a tough situation to be in, but it's a good tough situation. At least you're getting somebody that you need, and you're gonna be good with it.
Right. I don't think you can go wrong with any. And just because, and another thing that factors in with Ace, because you got Jordy here, I think
that would be a good thing that'll be good for Ace.
Yeah,
it'll be great. It'll be great.
Yeah. I think having Jordy makes all of a difference.
Yeah,
having a good coach, having
it's
a good coaching system, yes, makes it could make a difference on who you choose first too.
Yeah,
I see. JP said
so. Half his job is already done. Yeah, really. Be honest with you, getting that coach was real important because he effed that up the first time. He effed that up where he got homeboy with
Jacquees.
Yeah, and the other one before that. What's his name?
Steve Nash. Yeah.
Steve Nash.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Steve Nash. He's probably a good player, coach.
Right.
But he needed to be assistant coach.
Right.
He didn't need to be head coach.
Yeah. He needed some time. You know what I mean? He needed some time.
It didn't work out. That ain't work out.
So he needed somebody else. His job is done. Now he just got to complete the team. He got draft right and complete the roster. You know what I mean? That's what he got to do. You got to complete the roster. If you don't complete the roster, then he ain't, you know what I mean? Fans going to come down on his head. Like they already saying he need to go. But it'll be even worse, you know what I mean?
They already want to kill him, and he's still doing a good. He's trying to redeem himself.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
And they already trying to kill him.
Right.
I didn't realize that being a GM is a terrible job, man. That's a terrible job, man. That's a lot of pressure on you.
You don't get it right, and they trying to get you out of there.
The fans don't play today.
Not at all. You gotta do everything correct. You know what I mean? Like I be thinking to myself sometimes when I hear them talk about Sean Marks, I be thinking he has made a lot of mistakes. But have you looked at some of these other teams in the league? Like, bro,
they made mistakes too.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, what is on their roster?
Yeah, they make mistakes too.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, some of these teams, they GMs make mistakes with stars on their team.
Hey,
think about it.
Talk about it.
You got a good team and you fuck it up. How you fuck up already? You got a number one on your team that's playing like a number one, and you still surround him with a bunch of ball. Come on, man.
Yeah, it happens.
Or you got a coach that's garbage. Do you know that falls on the GM?
It does.
It's not. You see how he draft? He got all these number ones. Yeah, they got the number ones. Look at their coach.
Yeah, so now I'm wondering. Like,
look at their coach.
Right.
Look at their coach
now. Because everyone says Sean never completes a team, and I see it's difficult for him to complete a team. And my theory is, I heard Jordy say he has say so on players.
Well,
you know.
You did hear that?
Yeah, I did hear that. He had say so on players. On what it was mid-season on some interview. He has input on players.
Right.
So that to me that changes my outlook on Sean not completing team because now he got help. You know what I mean? He got Jordy. Jordy knows what he wants, the type of players. And he spoke about that. You know, he spoke about what type of players he wants. They know what type of player he wants on the team. You know what I mean? So now
that makes a difference.
Yeah, exactly. That would make a difference. And who they draft and free agency, who they keep. I'm interested to see who they keep and who they draft.
Yeah, that me too. I'm interested in who they keep because I think drafting is just like they can't go but so much wrong if they get in the right spots. But I'm interested in who they keep because it tells you. I think it has a lot to do with who they draft. That's who they're going to keep. I really believe that.
Right. It does. That's what I'm interested to see. I'm so ready for these 10 games Timme over.
I'm gonna have a draft party. I'm gonna be partying when the draft comes. I ain't gonna lie to you.
We might have to get on a live or something. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, I'm gonna get
talk
on.
about
Yeah, we gotta get online. We gotta celebrate that.
See what's going on. You know what I mean? Who they, you know what I mean?
Everybody who do podcasts for Brooklyn Nets gonna have a draft party, boy. We gonna be partying.
Yeah. Especially let them land anywhere between 1 and 3. The
Oh
internet
my God, that's it. The
internet's blowing up. Twitter
That's gonna be like the Super Bowl for us. That'll
Oh
be the
man,
NBA Finals. We done won the finals, man.
Twitter is over. Nothing but Nets content on Twitter. You know what I mean?
Oh man, it's gonna be hot. It's gonna be hot.
Yeah, I'm interested. I'm so curious to see where we're gonna land at, who's gonna be that first pick, and who's gonna come after, because you know what I mean? The suspense is killing me right now. I got all these mock drafts up, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. So
what's the exact date of the draft? What's the exact date of the draft picks? Like when they do the ball. Could they do the ball before I know they do it before the picks. But what I'm saying is it April?
I think it is in April.
Let me check.
All right, yeah, you go. Yeah, I think it is in April. To find out what spot you in. That's what you're talking about, right? Find out what the order. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I'm excited. I'm excited. What up? What up? You know what I mean? Thanks for tuning in. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? You're hearing this good content.
Oh,
you're hearing the good content, bro. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm hyped up on the draft right now. You know what I mean? I'm hyped up. We draft anybody in the top 7, Jeremiah, Ace, Coop.
Right.
I'm anybody. Give me any one of those and I'm good. You know what I'm saying? And I'm good. And give me a big Raynard or Kalkbrenner first pick, and then Kalkbrenner or Raynard, anybody in between, you know what I mean? Do y'all thing. You know what I mean? But I am good. If things don't get the players, the Nets fans might want. Yeah, man. If JP, if they don't get a top, I would say top 5 or 6, man. But if they don't land 3, you already know Twitter about to go crazy. Twitter's about to go crazy if we don't get a top 3.
Yeah, Sean might as well pack his bag. As soon as they find out, his bag better be packed.
Not right. Exactly, JP. If they land they draft Knuckle, man, it's over. I turn off my live if I'm streaming, bro.
Nah, they ain't gonna do it.
I can't do it.
They can't do that.
First pick, nah, Nets fans not having it. They don't want no Knuckle at all. Second pick.
No, they don't want that.
Yeah, not for first. You gotta pick Jeremiah, Flag, Ace, Dylan, you know what I'm saying? Trey Johnson, VJ. You gotta pick one of them. They probably even take Maluach and Queen before they go Knuckle. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Fans, nah, they don't want that. Fans don't want that. But yeah, if we don't land pick 6 or higher, man, the fans are gonna have a fit. The fans are gonna have a fit. They're gonna see it all on Twitter every day, all day, nonstop. Never gonna stop talking about it. You know what I mean? So JP, you right about that, bro. You know what I'm saying? You're right about that. And they gotta choose the right player. You know what I mean? Say you land 5 and you don't choose, you know what I mean? Somebody saucy, who the fans think is the player they should get. Oh man, you're gonna hear about it regardless. You know what I'm saying? So Sean Marks better hope they land top 5, man. You know what I'm saying? He better hope they land top 5.
All right, so the lottery is May 12th.
May 12th.
May 12th, 2025.
All right, there y'all go. May 12th. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, May 12th, 2025.
It's going down.
11:29 Oh wait, let me see. Let me make sure the time. See the time. 5 p.m. I think. Early entry. No, they have a whole big show thing with that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but it's May 12th.
All right, May 12th. Y'all heard it here first. May 12th is going down. You know what I'm saying? See the order or where we gonna pick at. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed we land in the top 5. You know what I mean?
Yeah, May. It just say May 12th. It's presented by State Farm. You know that. Okay, so the 12th. Before that, May 9th is the G League Combine.
Oh yeah.
And then on May 11th is the NBA Draft Combine.
Okay.
And then May 12th is the lottery. And then June 25th, NBA Draft first round.
Yeah.
So May and June. So May and June is on fire.
You heard
so
it.
After next month,
it's on.
We got one more month, 1.5 months before we find out where we at, and then we have another month before the draft.
I did not know, Scott, that they had a G League draft.
Yeah, a G League. No, I didn't know that neither. I always knew they had the combine for the regular, they're coming in the, the regular NBA draft.
Yeah.
But they have an NBA G League combine.
Yeah, I didn't know that. They got an NBA G League draft. And that's how we got Tyrese Martin. They traded for him in the summer league. I talked about it on one of my episodes. They traded some draft picks to get Tyrese Martin, the rights to Tyrese Martin over here.
Right.
And that's how I found out they had a draft. I'm like, I didn't know the G League had a draft. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. They do. I knew they had everything that the NBA had. That's why, being that I paid attention to college basketball and try to keep up with what, the young guys, I should be paying attention to the G League too, because the thing about the G League that intrigues me the most is these guys already been they seen what they need to kind of do.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So if you're not on a team, you know what they're looking for.
Yeah.
And some of these guys can come out of the G League. It just seemed like it's a spot where you can actually get some good talent. But you can say that about anything now. So
no, because there's guys. Like I said, I don't know who's in the transfer portal right now, who's in the draft. Once I figure out who's in the draft, I can say there's some guys. I'm gonna say a name. If I could think of his name right now. You know what I'm saying? It's a 6'11" guy. Played for the Owls. I'm drawing a blank right now. My God, JP. What's my guy that played for the Owls? You know what I mean? I'm drawing a blank. But if he goes undrafted, I want the Nets to pick him up and put him in the G League. I can't even think of his name right now. I'm so mad. I'm drawing a blank, man. I'm so mad. But like you said, players go down there. He's Bob Miller. Bob Miller is, I think he's 7 foot. He's even 6'11".
The Owls of Purdue, right?
No. He's at a smaller school.
Oh, okay.
But, Bob Miller is I think he's French. They had him at first at the beginning of the season. They had him going in the high 30s. Mm-hmm. Then he went off the board. Then he came back on the board, and he's in the 50s. He's in the 50s right now. Right. So I'm like, if he's a what is he? He can run. Basically, he can run like point guard if he wanted to. He's like a point forward, point center. You know what I mean? Tall. Mm-hmm. He can make the right passes. He has some things to work on. He's a slim guy. But when I seen the skill, he could sidestep, two-step, pull the three. You know what I mean? He's doing things like, hold up. You know what I mean? Like, hold on. This could be something that could be worked on. You know what I'm saying? You put him in the G League for a year or two and see, you know what I mean, if he could work on his talent and get his talent up. Because I think somebody like that could be a steal too. You know what I mean? If you don't see too many 7-footers that could play point guard. They even said it on the broadcast I was watching. Like he can run point guard at that height. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like,
Right.
yo, like hold on. He went off the draft board. He came back on. I'm like, yo, that's my guy. Nets. You hear me talking about Baba Miller? If he goes undrafted, go get that guy. You know what I'm saying?
What's his name?
Baba Miller. B-A Miller. Yo, JP, Alex Condon. He's not on everybody's draft board. You know what I mean? I seen him play the other day. He didn't do too much in the game I watched, but he's another 6'11" guy that you can actually put. Maybe you could put him at center at times. He's small though, slim body, but you can definitely play him at power forward. He's being in this draft, and it was said that his stock is rising. He might be in the first round too, but no one's updated a mock draft yet, so his name is not on some of the boards. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's tall. He's 6'11". He's big.
Yeah.
He's tall.
Yeah, he's tall. Yeah, Baba Miller. Yeah, Baba Miller. JP. Yeah, Baba Miller. Yeah, that's my
for
guy.
Florida.
Yeah. But Condon is interesting. He's an interesting power forward that plays for Florida, right? Yeah, Alex plays for Florida too. You know what I mean? I didn't know Florida had so many college teams, bro. Like, yo, they got a lot of teams.
Right.
But yeah, Baba Miller, you hear me, Sean Marks, talking about Baba Miller. If he goes undrafted, trust you want to pick this guy up. You know what I'm saying? Trust the Eskimos' eyes. A 6'11" point guard, yo, that's unheard of. You know what I'm saying? That's unheard of. He got things to work on, like I said. Everybody in the draft got things to work on.
Everybody do.
Yeah. If you can stash a player like that, yeah, you know what I'm saying? You would want to. I would definitely stash him and keep him in the G League for, you know what I'm saying, some time and see if he can put all of that together. I'm not saying he like Anthony Davis or nothing like that, but you see Anthony Davis could bring the ball up, you know what I mean, post game, shoot the three, things like that. You know what I mean? That's the type of power forwards and skill players that you want there. There's Florida Atlantic. That's
Florida Atlantic. Yeah. It's not the Gators. It's the Atlantic.
Yeah. So I'm gonna do another podcast where I talk about guys that no one talk about.
Yeah, you can do that some more because that's, a lot of people don't. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of talent out there, man.
Yeah. Everyone talks about the no names. I tend to like the guys with no names too. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Some of them you don't know what they are going to turn into. Be situation. They can be just what you need to get you over the hump.
Yeah, and I like when I point them out first, and you come back and say, "Iceman was talking about this shit, bro." Like Iceman was talking, like, yeah, I'll be paying attention. You know what I'm saying? I don't do money and finances and stuff like that. I do talent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My eyes see talent. You know what I mean? That's what I see. All right, he from Spain. So another, you know what I'm saying? Another guy overseas. You know, Nets like them foreign guys on the team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bringing out moolah. All right.
Yeah.
So y'all heard it here, folks. We got Scott. Shout your channel out before we close out.
Apartment Gamer and more on YouTube, and I'm on Apartment Gamer on X.
Yeah. Follow us. Y'all know where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know my motto. Y'all don't have to like, y'all don't have to subscribe because I don't know anything. You heard? And I'm out.
All right, peace.